Hello and welcome to the Dinner with Racers Continental Tire Cup presented by Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me for today's race is Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman, along with Alex Simpson as well on the cameras. And we are here at Eldora in the Williams F1 car. An odd combination, but we've got used to it this season. And Sean, you were saying before this broadcast, it was a slight glimpse into your mind. Quite a cruel mind you have, clearly, because this is a very tough combination.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you might. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you here with my connection, but yeah, assuming you can hear me okay. This is round 5 of our deal. We started the season off with LMP1 cars at Bristol, and then we did Skip Barber at Indianapolis, which was a whopping, I think, completely yellow fest. I don't think we ever completed one lap, and then NASCAR Cup cars at Detroit, which was probably our most normal, and then Mosport at night, which with an Indy car, so no headlights, and so now we're back to sort of, I think, our roots, where we're doing particularly ill-fitting cars on ill-fitting tracks, and we will see where this goes. Can I make a suggestion? Um, Based purely on your accent, and I understand you're English and not Australian, and as an American, I'm led to believe those are two different countries. Um, the Ryan and I are big fans of MotoGP, or I should say World Superbikes and Australian supercars. And you've kind of got the perfect voice for this. We've noticed that at all of those kind of broadcast races, they never actually introduce what the race is. They just say the track, the round, and what's going on. So it's always like round 9, Barcelona. And that's it. That's how they introduce it. You've got like the perfect voice. Can you say round 5 Eldora for us?
Round 5, Eldora. Was that good enough?
That was pretty good.
Thank you
works.
very much. There you go.
I got a couple tech issues. Ryan, why don't you let us know what's going on with you?
Yeah, I'm broadcasting live from Mansfield, Ohio.
My name is Sam Fitzpatrick.
And we have the Stadium Super Trucks that we ran yesterday at Mid-Ohio on the long course, same course they run Indy cars on. And I managed to roll a truck over and then come back to finish 4th. So that was pretty exciting. But I'm more excited about watching Williams F1 cars racing on dirt at Eldora.
Yes, this should be a pretty mad event. Just to let the viewers know, I've got 50 laps down here, or 1 hour 20 minutes. 50 laps should come first. It's quite a quick lap, you can imagine, around this circuit. And the drivers just completing their practice at the moment. Got about 3 more minutes of that. Then we'll have a 5-minute qualifying session, and then 50 laps around this race. Ryan, what are we going to do in terms of fast repairs for this place? Because I imagine there's going to be quite a few incidents. We better be well prepared.
Well, as you were saying that, it looked like somebody just took down the front straight wall there for a second in their F1 car. So that's a pretty good sign of things to come. We also, one of the corner shots showed I think it was a traditional VAR livery go sliding by the camera completely on 2 wheels up against the wall. All the normal things that you look for in an F1 car race on dirt at Eldora.
Yes, absolutely. And just on board at the moment with Talbot and taking that high line. Do either of you know if, because one of the great things about iRacing Dirt model is the fact that you got different amounts of grip on different parts of the circuit. Are we going to see that today, or is it just going to be slippery all over?
Well, people were sending me messages over the course of the week that they've been testing and doing different things. And actually what was really nice was some of our iRacing fans here were sending me their setups and advice to send to other people, which I immediately said, no way. If you spent the time working on the setup, you should be the one that gets to experience it and benefit from it. As we see one of the cars going backwards down the front straightaway. I believe that's a Jensen Button themed Braun GP car, which seems to be holding its own here, but eventually got it wrong there around turn 2. So yeah, no, this is going to be probably the dumbest thing we see here at Eldora, but also probably the most fun.
Yes, and well, I mean, when you look out on the circuit, there's far more cars at 90 or 180 degrees than there are pointing forwards. currently got pole position for Davis Trask by about
Yeah.
1/10 of a second. We've seen a few different winners so far this season, and so it's kind of difficult to pick anyone who is going to win. And it's safe to say we haven't got any prior knowledge of how quick these drivers are on this type of race.
Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing here, we see this Bronze GP liveried car doing a pretty good job of hanging on. The left front tire is actually not touching the ground at all.
Yeah, just pretty much three-wheeling around this circuit. I'm sure the setup that these drivers have got is absolutely extreme in terms of camber and tow, and in terms of the suspension as well, doing absolutely everything they can to get whatever power they can, of course, down on the circuit. Quite a bit of horsepower, I believe about 800 brake horsepower in these cars. And, well, yeah, should be a terrific 50-lap race. We are just coming to the end of practice, right now. And then we'll head into qualifying, and that's the one that really matters. So these guys got 2 laps to get a qualifying time in. And I believe, well, we're about to find out, is this a group qualifying or solo qualifying?
That's a great question here. I would prefer a group qualifying just because it makes it much dumber, but single
It
lap
is.
runs are
It is going to be single lap runs, just
okay.
to sort of point everybody out, make them individually shame everyone is kind of the goal there.
Beautiful. I love it.
They have a whole race to run side by side and run into each other, but there's nothing worse. Brian, you're more qualified to speak about this than I am, but there's nothing worse than just spinning on a lone track by yourself. So let's really shame everybody as much as we can here in our completely voluntary series.
Yeah, we're seeing Corey Hart's here starting out with his first run, and he's got the Bronze GP livery. I like the throwback to the championship winning car. Pretty cool. Fans are on their feet here. This is a 5-minute session, which you could probably do plenty of laps in that allotted time, but you're going to work on getting that cushion ready, getting the tire pressures up, maybe even using the left front tire depending on the setup you went with. But a lot of things at play here.
Yeah, definitely. These drivers actually only have 2 laps to put in a time. That's one of the limited factors. And so the qualifying session is going to be over and done with pretty quick into the 5 minutes. Expect a few drivers not to get a qualifying lap in, of course. If they hit the wall, even if it's a 0x, which is a light contact against the wall, that's it. They will not get that lap counted. So expect potentially a few fast drivers perhaps near the back of the field. We have got a lot of drivers out here today as well. And yeah, so we could have some drivers from the back certainly rivaling for the race win. Qualifying probably won't matter too much because, yeah, we're going to see a few crashes, and it's going to be those who can limit that who are probably going to come out on top. Currently, it's Andrew Pinkerton on pole position with a 17.791. And he's just ahead of Davis Trask at the moment, so he's looking very good at the moment.
Yeah, Andrew Pinkerton.
Oh, go ahead.
Andrew Pinkerton's a former race winner here in the Continental Tire Cup, as well as an actual race car driver in real life. Does a lot of instructing, so good to see him running pretty well here at Eldora. Strong in the stock cars at Detroit, which has nothing to do with what we're doing today.
What I love is that this is a live feed, so fans at home will get a real chance to understand how much Ryan and I actually talk over each other. But yeah, so seeing a couple of normal names have been running all year. Andrew Pinkerton won at our Detroit round, and another name that's on there is actually the guy that Andrew beat, Josh Chin. Josh has not done every race, but he's showed up at quite a few, and literally every race he's had a chance of winning, except things have always gone wrong for him. So LMP won at Bristol. He was leading most of the race until a random crash in front of him took him out. He had the race completely in control at Detroit, and then there was a debris yellow because of some Fernando Alonso hats that had spilled onto the track, and unfortunately he had not pit when that happened, and so he moved his way down the order and couldn't get his way back up in time, and so he's back today, and we're going to see what we can do to screw up his race today.
Yes, absolutely. We do have the power to, well, actually, no, I personally don't have the power to deploy cautions, but my fellow colleagues do have the power to do that. So, yeah, if we're feeling particularly mean, can certainly do that. So far this season, we've had Garrett Conrath, Matt Shinovsky, Dean Mole, Lane Walker, and Andrew Pinkerton taking race wins. And of course, if you win a race, it's a bit like the showdown in NASCAR, where if you win a race, you are qualified for the championship deciding events at the end of the season. And the rest of the places are filled by those who score the most points. But certainly, so far, 4 different winners this season, and I think we may well see a 5th later on today. They are in the last minute of qualifying. The vast majority of drivers have set their 2 laps. Christian James Bates, who are just watching at the moment, he is pretty much done. He has done his 2 laps. He's just trying to get a bit more practice, and I must say, this is the most serene driving we've seen so far. What is this? He's not sliding whatsoever. It's as though he's driving on tarmac.
Well, it's all going to be about different driving styles, as we like to say, which is another way of saying a variety of talent. So, also one thing to clarify is that you had mentioned we can throw yellows whenever we want to be mean, and that's actually not the case. It's not necessarily to be mean; it's purely safety here in sim racing. Ryan, I think, can back me up on this. We want to make absolutely sure that safety is paramount here when people are sim racing. We don't want to see any injuries, see anybody get hurt, and so we'll throw a caution if we feel like it's just simply too dangerous that everyone, playing in their basements behind a computer is not in any danger.
Yes, absolutely. Very wise thing to do that. So qualifying's done.
All right, looks like Ryan's having a little technical difficulty, so he'll be back in a minute. Just a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back for the start of the race. We'll have a couple of formation laps, I believe. On pole position for this one is Andrew Pinkerton. He's half a tenth clear of Davis Trask. Then it's Corey Hart, Austin Bodel, Ben Cox, Lee Lucas, Christian James Bates, Justin Parcher, Jason Skeen, and Daniela Tuber rounding out the top 10. Then it's Alan Space, Alex Ripstein, Lance Schneider, Thomas Manning, Joseph Kang, Dustin Hamilton, and Tyler Tucker. Those were all the drivers who set times. These drivers, despite having 2 laps, they clearly hit the wall twice, so they didn't set times. It's Tyson Landis, Dean Mole, Josh Chin, Timothy Murdoch, Sean Heckman, Jeffrey Collinson, Mark Schmeiding, and Jeff Gross out there. Sean Heckman, by the way, of course, Sean isn't actually racing. I just read the names in front of me like a sheep. Never think more than that.
You're like a proper broadcaster. That's what I like.
Yeah. Absolutely, just read the auto cue. The drivers just lining up in the pit lane, I think, behind the truck that will lead them around. It could be a bit of a problematic formation lap this, Sean, because well, we've seen in the past in real life races formation laps be problematic, but this is probably one of the more difficult ones.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a few new suggestions on Facebook that we do the traditional sprint car 4 wide salute for the fans out there in Sim Eldora. And I'm pretty sure that just 2 wide salute is going to be pretty difficult for these guys to do. I admittedly have not driven this configuration to really know what it's like, but I am told it's actually harder at slow speeds than it is at fast speeds. So I don't know if it's power down or the way the dirt slips or what, but it actually, in a weird way, might be harder in this formation lap, keeping them side by side, keeping to your lane, and just barely rolling than when they finally get up to speed. But I'm pretty sure no matter what lap or on the install lap, I'm pretty sure no matter what, it's going to be pretty hard to keep the thing on the road.
Yes, definitely. Could see a few the catch fencing showing off today. It's going to be mad, this. 50 laps should take probably about 20 minutes. It's difficult still. These drivers, of course, have unlimited faster pairs. They can fix their car as many times as they wish. And we are very excited about this one. It's Andrew Pinkerton on the pole position. Davis Trask alongside him. And, well, if you want to put in our social media chats who you think's going to win, go for it. Because if you predict this, you're clearly got some magic talent, I imagine, because it is difficult to call. We're going to see a lot of incidents undoubtedly. I think this is the final corner before we go green for this race. And yep, the pace car comes in, so Pinkerton can put his foot down whenever he likes. He's going to put it down right now, and away we go for 50 laps in the Williams F1 car at Eldora, and Pinkerton gets a very nice start. So far, relatively clean amongst the front runners. Not too many crashes so far. Joseph Kang with a bit of an issue at the start, but out of the top 8, no changes of position. I did not expect that.
I absolutely did not expect that. These guys have actually been practicing, which means they're taking it way too seriously for my blood. But yeah, so far we're looking extremely clean. Yeah, not a whole lot to add here. It will be interesting. So there's been a couple of chat messages within the folks that are driving right now that the track is way worse than they thought it was when they practiced, and that would make sense because iRacing obviously does such a great job of simulating how dirt really behaves. The line is going to change here, and so if all you've done, and especially if you're not an experienced dirt racer, the line's going to change in ways that you weren't predicting because, of course, the dirt doesn't move nearly the same way in practice as it does with the full field of cars. So it might be interesting to see if legitimate dirt racing tactics are showing up here between the high line versus the low line and wherever the drift is going to be. So, Sam, do you follow much dirt racing?
No, but I roughly, I know a little bit about it, I think, with like the line moving up and down the circuit and always trying to find that kind of unused parts of the track going off the slick part. We've got a bit of a spinner there. Tyler Tucker having a bit of a incident. Also Alex Ripstein, I think, yeah, also struggling out there on circuits. Currently it's Austin Fodell then who's leading the way. This is what happened to Ripstein, and yep, into the wall. I think he had to take straight back to the pits. He'll get a faster pair though, but does lose you a lot of time having to tow back to the pits, understandably. Austin Fodell then 7/10 of a second ahead of Pinkerton. And yeah, now already starting to lap a few of the back markers.
Yeah, that should be one of the fun parts about this is obviously it's such a tight track that we have, I can't really tell the exact number, but we have 20 cars on track at one time right now, so it should be pretty easy to catch up to each other. And as we saw at Bristol when we started the season, traffic can absolutely screw up your day. Josh Chin, who was dominating our Bristol race, was taken out just by a couple of errant cars deciding they wanted to fly to the moon.
Yes. Hopefully that won't happen to him today. He's already up 10 places actually as Josh Chin. He's had a really nice start so far. Also Jeff Gross as well, up 13 places into the top 11. We're riding on board with Jeffrey Collinson. Currently he's holding back Daniela Tuber. Collinson actually up 14 places himself. And so far 13 seconds off the race lead, which is almost an entire lap, so no shame on being lapped up here. Quite a few of the drivers already are, 4 of them, along with a couple of retirees as well, seemingly. Everyone's kind of just waiting at the moment for this to really erupt. The top 4 drivers all separated quite comfortably. We've got 4th and 5th relatively close to one another, as you can currently see on screen. And you can really see that different lines going right to the inside of the circuit. You can see that slightly kind of more dark brown as Abate spins round, and that's going to be 5th position gone for him. Ever so disappointing. Does get back going the right way. I don't think he's going to have to use a fast pair. We've got a lot of cars off now, though. Bit of oil seemingly on the circuit, and yeah, lots of drivers going for a bit of a spin there.
Interesting. Sorry, I've been kind of dealing with a couple tech issues back here, but yeah, it's already getting interesting. I'd like to point out Josh Chin is the guy to keep your eye on. He's still moving his way back up the field fairly slowly, but that guy seems to always show up no matter where he is. He's already got himself in the top 6. Austin Fodell currently leading. It's worth pointing out we have not had a repeat winner all year. This is our 5th round. Not one guy has, with the exception of Josh, not one guy has shown potential to win twice. We've had 6 different winners because a couple of races had 2 splits, and not one repeat winner this whole time. And if Austin continues to do the way he's drive the way he's driving, it will continue that way. But Andrew's giving a pretty good run for his money, and Andrew will be our first repeat winner of the year.
Yes, and also Davis Trask, yeah, 3 seconds behind now actually, Trask, so it's not really struggling to keep with these guys too much. Very impressive driving right now from these top 2. Impressive driving from everyone, and we really should, you know, absolutely exaggerate, like, you know, how difficult this is for these drivers, and must be so tempting just to put your foot down. You can imagine Pinkerton right now, you can think, well, if I just put maybe 50% instead of 40% throttle down, then I could make this move perhaps. But he's staying relatively calm and composed at the moment, just trying to find an alternative line to the current race leader, almost into the inside wall. There's Pinkerton. And, well, rain has been talked about a little bit by iRacing recently. This is hopefully what it will turn out to be as we see a change for the lead. Pinkerton down the inside, a mistake from Fodor, ran very wide onto the middle part of the track where it's very, very slick. And Andrew Pinkerton just waits for that mistake, and he's back into the race lead. Of course, he started on pole position, lost that lead to Fodell on the opening couple of laps. But yeah, back into the lead now. Trask has closed in a little bit on these guys, in third position, but still a bit absent, about 3 seconds behind. You can see he's trying to get through the traffic. This lap 20 of 50, and they are rattling off pretty quick right now. And every lap that goes past, I'm sure these front runners will be feeling better and better about their chances. But of course, one crash, one skim of the wall, and it could be game over. Pinkerton then hanging on to that position at the moment, still staying in the lead. Fodell is keeping him honest. In fact, actually, I think may have seen a change of position. No, I think Pinkerton's still also in the lead. Lucas in 4th, Cox in 5th. Still Chin up into 7th position now, getting past Tyler Tucker there. Up 13 places from his start after not setting a qualifying time in his Haas liveried F1 car. And you can see he's staying ever so close to that line. He's trying to step to the wall, so trying to get as much grip as he possibly can. Almost getting overtaken though back by Tyler Tucker. Maybe that outside line starting to lose its grip. And Chin really all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to use the same line Kyle Larson used to run the trucks around here, which is kind of bouncing off the outside wall just to see how much speed you can actually get out of that before it damages the car too badly.
Yeah, he's certainly running a few risks, either stuck in the middle of the circuit, and another, and another.
Yeah, we got three wide action here going pretty well, but looks like that outer line is going to be the one to beat here as we have several cars going backwards on the back straightaway. I'm imagining this is what Tony Stewart had in mind when he decided to have F1 cars come race here at Eldora.
Absolutely. Now coming to the midway point in the race, actually 24 laps completed and another 26 to go, or just under 26 to go, and you can still see the two leaders, Pinkerton and Fodor, separated by just half a second currently. They are really the class of the field at the moment, pulling away once again from Trask. They have lapped everyone apart from Trask and Lucas. This is proper domination at the moment from these two.
Yeah, these guys probably spent way too much time in their parents' basement this week trying to hone in this setup. But how about Daniela Talbert there in P8, running really strong, been consistent the whole race, and giving it to these guys, proving that this is not exactly rocket science.
Yes, definitely. And, well, that's, you're not a fully fledged commentator, Ryan, but that was a bit of a curse, it's safe to say. And Daniela drops down, and now another incident, fortunately gets away, although having to go back to the pits is Talbot. Oh, ever so disappointing, because, as you were saying, Ryan, having a really good run there in the top 10 for the entire race, but yeah, back to the pits, and that's going to lose a lot of time.
Well, Sam, I might not be a full-fledged commentator, but I'm absolutely an idiot. And if I was smart, I would know that there's about 20 laps left in this thing here. So we're coming up on lap 30. A lot of time left for a lot of people to have problems. Looking at you here, Pinkerton. Andrew's a friend of mine, so I love giving him a hard time because he's taking this very seriously in his spare time to hone in the setups to get some wins and be really competitive almost everywhere we've gone.
Now, of course, next up, we'll go to Watkins Glen, the short layout, won't we? In the, I believe it's the Cup cars and the GT3s, which will be a little bit more normal, so a lot more normal than this. And, well, I imagine he's going to be a threat there once again.
Yeah, we were looking at the multi-class racing that we enjoy in sports car racing, figured how could we tie that in with some stock cars. And if you look at the way they do the lap times at that track, they're completely different, but they're about the same speed. So we're really interested to see who comes out on top there. Also, as we've seen this weekend at Eldora, A lot of guys brought their cool F1 retro liveries out. We see a Michael Schumacher tribute here as we see looks like a Braun GP missing a front nose cone, getting stuck in the pit lane entrance by what I'm assuming is a Marussia spinoff. But, we're excited to see what the liveries that people show up with as they come to Watkins Glen, I should say. Just realizing that Marussia knockoff has Acura and dinner with racers all over it. So we're pretty excited to see that livery show up tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And a nice Haas livery as well for Josh Chen, who still is having a race-long battle seemingly with Tyler Tucker. Chin sticking to that outside line all the way, but he has actually been overtaken, and Tucker quite far ahead of him now. So Chin, after that really good start they had, just struggling to make too much of an impression now at this point in the race.
Yeah, Josh Chin's driving like he actually drives for Haas, which means he's afraid that Grosjean's about to slam into him somewhere. So he's just trying to get away from that happening, which seems to be a pretty good plan so far. Running P7.
I mean, the fact that he got through the lap one, pretty extraordinary for a Haas driver, undoubtedly. Hopefully they'll make some changes for next season, but more on that on another day, I imagine.
Yeah, we've been following all of these drivers and teams with a Netflix camera crew, so we're pretty excited about the documentary series that's coming out next year based on our DWR Cup, and looking forward to seeing how the team manager handles that. See Christian James Abate having a nice run here in the McLaren liveried Williams F1 car, and again hanging that right front in the air, waving at the fans the whole way.
Car on the roof there. I think that may have been Talbot again. So yeah, Daniela, after a really good start to this race, very much gone south since
yeah,
then.
I'm gonna take full credit for that one. That was my fault.
Yes.
He's having a great run. I'm actually a little disappointed at how much up, because we really envisioned something different when we came up with this concept.
Only 10 laps to go. Where's the time gone? I mean, it is a quick lap, undoubtedly, but Austin Fodell, he's just not made any mistakes. And 3 seconds ahead of Andrew Pinkerton. You can see absolute chaos from left to right, forwards and back, and he's just driving straight through it as if he's not even noticed it. Absolutely sublime driving from the Braun GP livery driver.
And on that last lap, I'm pretty sure we had as many cars facing the right direction as we did the wrong direction.
So
good battle taking place here.
Caution has been thrown, okay. And this will bunch everyone up a little bit and perhaps allow a few drivers a better chance. So it will be Fodell then at the head of the field. Also, we have green and white checkers. I'm not sure quite what that is, but doesn't that mean that we're definitely going to have a green flag finish?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Very popular with the NASCAR fans, hated by most European series, but it's something we've become used to here in North America, so should put on an exciting finish. Got to say, the pace really dropped off there at the end with all the carnage on track, so navigating the chaos is almost as important as having a fast race car right now.
All right, are we back? Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Is this thing on?
I don't know. All right. Yeah, we had more debris. There was dirt on the track, so it went yellow, I believe. That's what I'm told from race control.
Is smoke on the tractor out there getting the track fixed for us?
Yeah, Tony's out there somewhere. If you look closely, I think by the really nice restrooms on the outside of the track, there's a digital Mr. The Smoke.
Right.
He's by far your favorite stock car driver, right, Sam?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Right. Right, so we have 3 folks that are a lap down: Lee, Lucas, Ben, Cox, Tyler, Tucker, and I am told that they're going to get wave arounds for most of the races.
And were those predetermined? Did they buy those ahead of time, or how does that work out?
God, I hate being live. I can't say the things I want to say. want to always give competitors a reason to complain that somehow the things are stacked against them.
Yeah, right.
So we made sure to just sort of pick 3 drivers and then hear people say, "This is some DWR BS right there."
All right, looks like pace
Uh,
truck is in.
should it be yellow again?
We're
Well,
back.
we've got the
Back
3
to
drivers at the front joined together, but I don't think the wave rounds works for a couple of the drivers. So it's just a 3-way battle seemingly at the moment, with Lucas a little bit detached in 4th, still Fodor leading though, and it's a 3-lap shootout then.
Unless we could go yellow.
right. We could go yellow.
We could go yellow.
I think we could go yellow.
Oh, Belmer, looks like we got debris again. More dirt on the
Ah.
racetrack.
Oh, so weird.
Man, yeah. I have to bunch these guys up one last time here. Pull those shoulder belts down tight, guys and lady.
Yep. Or I think because a few people got wave around so late, there may have been a couple of black flags that were received because of that. So we'll see if we can give people a chance to go back.
This
There's
is the...
some, like,
Sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, except for Jason Skeen, he doesn't get his 13 laps back. He's screwed, and that's how I want it. I want to pick on him specifically for no reason.
Absolutely. And then he can go on Twitter and be like, "This is some DWRPS."
Yeah, yeah. If somebody doesn't hashtag DWRBS for the rest of the day, I'm not going to be very happy. Alex Ripstein, same for you. You're not getting those 11 laps back, bud. Sorry. It's just because we don't
we're giving
like
everybody
you.
that's 2 laps down or less a lap or 2 back. And this yellow a little bit.
This is the first of the green-white checkers that we can deploy, and so if it's...
Right.
I assume we can even deploy another one of these if anyone isn't on the lead lap still. So it should be quite a fun finish. Will this be a 1-lap shootout?
We'll have to check with race control, see what they're working on over there. Sean?
Yeah, I'm talking to the guys right now. They're looking for the button that allows this yellow to go a little bit longer, and they seem to not
Okay.
find that button.
Okay.
So our good friend Bo Varfield is clearly not in there because this race director is not competent. But Bo, on the other hand, nothing but awesome.
Great sunglass choices.
And then I don't think Paul. Go ahead. I was going to say I don't think Paul Walter is there either because even here in the sim racing world, we'll be able to see his shoes from race control.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is there anybody wearing bright orange shoes over there in race control? Can you see through the window on your left?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody from my vantage point.
Green again,
Pretty good crash for the start.
We're back to green.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So
Oh boy.
Get back.
Looks like something might be on the surface down there. A lot of cars getting really out of control. The race has completely changed. Pinkerton.
We need to go yellow.
Lead. I think we need to go yellow. That was unsafe restart.
Oh, it's too late. I think it's the last lap.
It's the last lap, and
Pinkerton's
It's the last lap. This is it.
We got to run on the
versus
outside
Trask.
from Trask. He's rim riding on the cushion. Oh, he's gonna go with the over/under. They're both down to the apex here. Side by side racing. Oh, we got slow traffic. Coming to the line. We got a car backwards. Oh, they crashed across the start finish line.
Yes. That was the dream.
That's what I'm looking for right there. Rim riding all the way around. Oh, we got one upside down. It seems as though the field has gone completely insane. Daniela Talbert clearly not taking any nonsense there. What a great race here at Eldora.
After all of that, Trask on the 54th and last lap set the fastest lap of the race. He absolutely nailed it, and he had to win. Third place for pretty much all of it, but there you go. Couple of fortunate cautions, and goes and wins.
Yeah, true testament to those Continental tires that seem to hold on the entire race despite people barely using them because they're running on 3 and 2 wheels half the time.
Should continue our trend of no repeat winners.
Yeah, it looks like Trask driving right into victory circle here. He knows exactly where to go, right in victory lane at Eldora. See Tony Stewart coming up on the right there. Looks like he's got an ice cold beer for him. Yep. And Pinkerton seems to be showing up here, not too happy with the results. Are we going to see our first fight in DWR Cup here in Rossburg, Ohio?
Is that in one of the new updates that we can get out of the cars and actually start fighting?
That's eRacing 2.0.
That's yeah, that's for the new title coming out.
Okay, so it looks like we've had a change of position in victory lane.
All right, so we've got. I can't be on live stuff because I'm.
Yeah, it looks like it's not tip to tip. Oh, as a third competitor is now driven up onto the victory lane, and he's doing a wheelie into the podium, I guess. So, oh, we've had a motor failure. Is that going to pass post-race tech? We might see a results change here after the race.
We'll see. They'll have to get the car over to tech. This actually might help his case in tech because you can argue damage.
Right, right.
And we'll have to go back. I don't know if we have the ability to replay at the beginning, but I don't know if, say, young Mr. Davis Trask had any conversations with his crew chief before they got out saying crack the rear end.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a Haas missing both its front and back aero devices. Normally they just destroy one half of the car. As we see a victory burnout by the Haas, still in victory lane, although I'm not sure that car had anything to do with the podium.
I mean, if he's the only one on the podium, does that mean he gets first, second, and third?
I guess in this case, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And if you're a fan right now, you're watching at home, which millions are, that guy looks like a winner to me. Seeing a replay here of the final lap battle, and important to note that they had to avoid that slow-moving car, and then one of them ended up on the barrier there, which is always what you look for in formula cars, to be able to ride around the track on two wheels.
That's what we call the ultra high line.
Right. Yeah, that is the pillow, which is a little bit better than a cushion.
That is fair. So, Sam, you've never done one of these. We've had Marco doing the majority, or I should say all the races up until this point. Marco's done a phenomenal job. First of all, is everything okay with Marco? Please don't tell us anything's wrong.
Oh, I think he might be marshalling today. I'm not quite sure, but he's certainly today at his local circuit, I think. But no, he should be around for next week. But it's been a delight to cover this one with you. I think of all the races today, I think this was a pretty good one.
And when you say marshalling, he's
in real life, or
oh yeah, in real life, yeah, Vallelunga, his local circuit.
And is he he's at Mid Ohio based on his accent?
I'll hang out with him today.
All right. So Sam, you're have you seen any here?
Sorry, you just cut out for a second there. What was that?
Oh, had you ever seen any of these things prior to joining us today?
Oh, I saw the a little bit of the previous one at Mosport, the Indy cars. Yeah, wasn't the best. Wasn't the best watching action. Let's say it was a bit of a radio transmission. Safe to say, with the lack of lights, but it was still pretty exciting. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Now, I'm not sure if we're watching a replay, but it seems to be that the winners are still disputing the podium. Is that live?
And it might be Alex showing highlights.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I was just making sure that somebody's not still sitting there trying to figure that out or listening to us at this point.
Now, has Alex been our guy behind the scenes on all of these?
Oh,
all right.
lovely.
So where does today stack up in the grand scheme of our nonsense races? If you can afford a Williams, then what are you doing playing around with video games? You're a fan of the super fast cars on the really, really tight tracks.
Wonderful.
All right, I got nothing. So, Sam, what's your favorite motorsport podcast?
Oh well, there's so many.
You've already failed.
I mean,
don't answer that.
Think really hard about this.
What about Dinners with racers. I'd say that's pretty good.
What about
That's,
Dinner with Drivers? You familiar with that podcast?
well, second favorite,
Okay.
obviously. I
Okay.
mean,
We'll
both are
allow
pretty
that.
good.
We'll allow that.
Cool.
All right. Well, should we do a rundown real quick with that lovely British accent?
Yes, awesome. Okay, so Davis Trask then wins by just less than 1/10 of a second over Andrew Pinkerton. Trask was third, I think, pretty much the entire race. Wins. Fast lap of the race on the last lap as well. Absolutely perfect. Sure, he had it all planned out right from the start that it was going to turn out like that. Lee Lucas was in third place. Austin Fodell led for, what, 90% of the race? Fourth. Unlucky. Tyler Tucker finished in fifth. Ben Cox in sixth. Then it's Christian James Abatse in seventh. And then 3 laps down, quite a jump. We helped those top 7 to get back onto the lead lap, but 3 laps down was Mark Schmeiding. And then it's Josh Chin, Justin Parcher, Thomas Manning in 11th, Lance Schneider in 12th. Then it's Jeffrey Collinson, Daniela Tuber, who I think it was Ryan, who absolutely cursed to oblivion. Joseph Kang, Alex Ripstein, Corey Hart, Jeff Gross, Jason Skeen, Tyson Landis, Dean Mole, Alan Space, Dustin Hamilton, and Timothy Murdoch. And Sean, you'll notice I didn't say your name there. I've learned something in this broadcast. I'm very proud.
Well, I'll say Sean Heckman's name. Great job to my partner on Dinner with
One thing I
Racers.
would really like to point out in all of these, I'm very proud that Josh Chin not win.
Yeah, screw
Our
Josh Chin.
efforts to make sure that this guy never wins a race continues to prevail. He was 4 laps down. So, Josh, if you watch this rebroadcast, we look forward to seeing how we can screw up your next one.
That was pretty much our whole goal, and I was actually just about to congratulate you, Sean, on our hidden agenda of ruining Josh Chin's career.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, for Dinner with Racers, I'm Ryan Eversley, and I'm going to go drive a race truck.
He's got some real racing to do. We will be back in a little less than a month's time when we will have a multi-class race slated currently to be at the short course of Watkins Glen International. We're going to have a combination NASCAR Cup race against GT3 cars, which, based on preliminary tests, deliver the same lap time, but in very okay.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, we will see you all very soon. And of course, also, if you enjoyed this podcast, check out the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel as well. He brought you this broadcast today. Hope you enjoyed today's action. Yes, certainly do keep an eye out on the Dinner with Racers YouTube channel for future videos. So from me, from Ryan, from Sean, and from Alex as well, we'll say goodbye. And we'll see you next time.